Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, fuck you, nigga.
Aha.
What the fuck?
Understood. Stanley
What
walked
the fuck?
the red door.
Who the fuck? Nigga. The fuck?
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Bro.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Bro. Yo. 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 Bye, Jit.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad.
Wait.
Stanley pushes the button. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Wait a minute, what?
Blackcrosses, 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 crosses, Blackcrosses, team nauseous.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending,
Pretty sad life.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So this is basically a game where this nigga is just narrating my life type of shit. That's locked.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Am I doing all the endings? We'll see. If the game's not that long, maybe I'll do like another ending. We'll see.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Where do you think it's went, bro? Hey, bro, I know. Hey, look, I know the office ain't closed today, bro. I would have known that the office was closed today. They would send me like a, an email or something. Kind of. Bro, I just clocked into it and everything. Hello? Hello? Is anybody here? Hello? Damn, y'all niggas left a minute. Ain't no one clean their mess up and shit. I think, bro. Hey, bro. I'm reporting y'all niggas to HR. I'll lose y'all job the following day. Watch. Watch. So that's all these doors is closed.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
That shit.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
I'll go
lounge
to the right.
first, just to admire it.
I'm going to the right. What the fuck the narrator tell me to do, bro? I'll do what I want to do.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Pause.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
You know what I mean, Slur?
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yo.
Really worth it.
Yo, you, narrator. Why you on my dick?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Well, f you.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Oh, did I? Oh, did I really? Oh, did I? Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. It's in here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yo! Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop, okay? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. What? Really? He's in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah, shut up.
I don't know how to convince you.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I really do want to help you, to show you something.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I'm not bot, okay? I do what I want to do. I make the decisions, not you, narrator. Danger everywhere. Okay. Do not stand on this side of the fence. Don't give me the choice to do it anyway.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, f you, nigga.
Aha.
What the fuck?
Understood. Stanley walked
What the f?
the red door.
Who the f? The f? Nigga. The f?
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Bro.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Bro. Yo. 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 Yo.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley.
Yo.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yeah, nigga, f you.
You see?
Where the f?
Nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
What
Broken room, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
Well,
And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option.
What the f?
Already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I'll go to the middle door. F you. What the f? What?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Sure, I'll give you.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere.
I'll give you a 4.
Clearly, there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What? Worldwide leaderboard. In total, 91,000. What the f? 30.1. Skip the intro sequence? Really? Only the worst 3% players chose the blue door. Really? How long does it take you to get to that correct door? Compete against others, improve your steady parable. 18,935 enemies achieved. I'm in 9,328th place. What? Is this all true? Yeah, let's go to this door then. Where's this lead?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Kinda. It kinda did.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Wait, what?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Bye, Jit!
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
What?
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
What?
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Yeah, we got here.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What the f?
Aha! Fascinating.
Where the f
What
am
do you
I?
think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
It's bad at
That
Clorox.
must be. What a
Clorox.
fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
What's over here, though? Okay. What's going on out here? What is this game? It's made by a sole developer. It's impressive. I like for real. If one person made this shit, they got it, bro.
Oh no, it can't be.
Come on, the wild, bro.
It is. It's an open world game.
Oh,
Go quickly, block it off.
No, chill.
Thank goodness.
Kid,
Close call.
F you.
Really wandered off into that thing. That big open, wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
Bro.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Attack on Titan?
Okay, I think
No, bud.
this will be just the thing.
After I usually it should be out after I don't know what I could swear I fixed that setting, bro. Nigga, is this Rocket League?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Why is bro?
Just a nice big box for
I'm
you
done.
to run around in. There isn't
I'm
any
done.
possibility that you could get lost
There's
here.
no way.
Now this is game
There's
design.
no way.
Stanley, if you manage to get
There's
lost in
no
this
way.
game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
This is kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. What the fuck?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We
Dude.
shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, what the fuck?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I
Yeah.
worked so hard on?
I'm knocking to my
Stanley,
own.
I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Pause?
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Yo! Yo, chill! Okay, cut it out, please. No more balls, please.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
No, I'm not having fun.
Well, I sure hope
Stop
you're
this,
having a good time,
please.
because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
Good.
This is my game.
I want
and
you to do
what
that.
I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
You nigga.
Besides, you
Suck a
need
dick.
someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure.
Fourth,
I'm
bro.
your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley.
You, bro.
See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules.
Good.
Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much.
Good.
But who knows?
I don't want you here
You're an
anyway.
inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Bye. I'm just having a lot of fun without you anyway, sir. No, I'm gonna hop in this hole. Bye. Bye.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Wait, what the f?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
See that, chat? What? Where the f am I? See that, chat? Write your own story. Make your own story. That's how you move. That's how you make it through this world. Make it your own story, bro. Don't listen to what people tell you. Put the game first try. Wait, is this? What the fuck? What?
I wonder what he found.
What's going on?
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
The f I do.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Good night, Deluxe.
The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Hmm? So that's in here.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wow, okay, so
What
that's...
could it mean?
I got one of the
Stanley
endings like
decided
those?
to go
The
to
fuck?
the room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, sir, it's something about follow your directions, okay?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whatever I'm doing, it better be a good story.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, man. Oh. What's in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Bullshit, there's something here. No, there's something here. Alright, man. Whatever you say.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's down here? Oh, this garage?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah, what the f?
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went. And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Good, man.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh,
Imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Exactly.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
Bro,
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm still here though.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley.
This is
I
crazy.
have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What the
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wait, what?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Mariella?
She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
The Stanley Parable.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
There's 18 endings? Alright, let's try this one out then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah, shut up.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yeah,
Perhaps
shut
he
up.
had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, yep, I know.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Interesting, yeah,
Feeling
I know,
a wave
right?
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Where the fuck? Where's this lead? Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
Wakey, wakey, it's time for school.
Nah, not for me anymore. I'm done with school. Decisions. Ooh, elevator? Yo, elevator music go crazy. I don't know about y'all. Bro, how long am I in this elevator for? Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I'm still in the same place. What was the point of that? Let's go down then. Let's see what happens when we go down. Okay, well that's not doing anything. I don't know what the point of that is, but okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to
We'll go
discover
back.
not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
Bro.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, really? Really?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random
Really?
buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He
Really?
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What the fuck? Where the fuck is this leading?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Guess we'll go back? Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, I know, man.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, okay, bro. Whee! See that? See that, chat? I am simply just built.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant,
Wait, what?
Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yo. Wait, what? Wait, who the f was the other narrator? What the f? What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Why is there a different narrator?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Crazy. Wait, what the f? Office layout? This is like a museum or something? Stanley's computer. This is very strange. Am I God or something? Am I a God or something? Can I not die? Or oh, they have the credits here and everything. There's so many different endings to this. So many different like choices you can go. Where's the exit, bro? Let me get out of this place.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No,
True ending?
perhaps not.
I doubt it.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose.
So was I supposed to do that?
All of his co-workers were gone.
So what?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
So have I actually killed
Perhaps
myself
he had
then?
simply missed a memo.
Or died, I meant.
When Stanley came to a set of
Interesting.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's try this one again. But this time, instead of going to like the death ending, let's go straight.
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety
Yo!
isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
What the f? Yo, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh, I'm done, bro.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Say what?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What the fuck? What kind of Matrix is this?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Your number? Was my number like 423 or something?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
What?
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I wonder if one of these is actually online. This is where the chicken sandwiches come from. This is where all the kids disappearing to, bro. So they put in the chicken sandwiches. Wait. My controls.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control?
Demon timing.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, yeah?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Really?
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know.
Yo, you asshole.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
What?
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
So wait a minute.
Sometimes when I
The
tell
narrator's
it,
actually the
I simply
villain?
let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Oh, God.
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Oh, yeah?
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Yo.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then...
You're a dickhead.
No ending here, just you being blown to pieces.
You're a dickhead.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Oh my god, bro. This son of a bitch. Can I lie to you? I'm trying that one again. That's be a way to beat that ending. See, I knew he was evil. That's why I listened to him the first time.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad.
Wait.
Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Wait a minute, what? Bro, this guy.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Where we're going. What all this means. I'll tell you exactly. Swallowing every
Wait a minute.
go better. 34 seconds left.
I might know.
It's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
How you get through that part? You just leave the room? I can't. I'm trying to leave the room. That's what I'm trying to do.
About you, about me, where we're going. Everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Oh, wait a minute.
Everything, and take back the control wrested away from you. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. Thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Fine, I'll do the good guy ending then, I guess.
And when at last he found the blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building
Nah, I did the other ending.
As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So this is supposed to the real ending of the game, I'm guessing. Wait, what the f? New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Well then.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Okay.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Free troll.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
The f. This is what you call new content, Stanley Parable. Wow, I can't jump anymore. Okay, that's kind of bullshit. Okay. Guys, make it to college. I appreciate you, bro.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Pause.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
There has to be. What?
That's it?
What?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
What the f?
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
It's getting
I built
cancelled.
up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Wait, what the fuck? This is unusual. What happened here? What the fuck?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
What's over here, though? Wi-Fi. What's in here, bro? Touch up in with mad pause, not gonna lie.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the fuck? Nigga, where the fuck am I?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Good times. Nominee British Academy Award. TV game innovation. Story.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Where does this lead? Person of the year.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
To be honest.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait. Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no.
What?
God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam,
GG.
the online video game distributor.
GG.
I haven't looked at these in years.
Chad.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh God.
Honestly, I could not be
Not
bothered to play this game
recommended.
to full
2.9
completion.
hours on
The
the
narrator
record.
is obnoxious and unfunny,
So right here,
with
guys.
his humor and
Check
dialogue
for,
proving to be more
acting
irritating
class.
than
Alright, good night,
entertaining.
Good night,
Unfunny!
son. Or have a great day.
Trying to be funny? I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Insane.
Okay, let's see
So
what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers
That's by all
non-linear
alternative
games,
endings
this
of game
preachiness
reviews.
gets
It's
annoying
kind of
fast. Preachy?
thought-provoking.
Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I?
You get the idea.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
I get that it's
You
supposed to be
constantly
parable
have
or
to stop
something,
doing
listen to that
anything so
patronizing
the narrator
voice.
can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
That's the...
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no.
Shut up.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course.
Shut up.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise.
Shut up.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Good God.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Wait, what the f?
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that.
Oh my God.
Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
Bro, narrator.
A sufficiently
shut
large
the
crack?
Up, please.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here and... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to
What
again.
the fuck?
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
Oh my God.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel.
Shut up.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Yo.
There is only the turning
This nigga
wheel
down
of missed
bad.
opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
Yo.
And when that feeling had
been
begun
months.
to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence,
should they pay this
without
narrator?
action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of it.
Shut up. Narrator? Narrator? Hello? 50 times pay. What the fuck? What's that beeping noise? Bro, this thing is dead.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point.
Wait,
It was
what?
meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences for a lack of coherence.
Bro, what's going on? No, seriously, like, what the f is going on?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Why is there water leaking here? What the f? What happened here? What the fuck? Bro, this shit's freaky. Chat, I'm getting kind of like, I don't want to say scared, but like, nervous. What the f? Yo! Yo! What happened? Hey, bro. You know what? Should I do one more or should I call it a night, y'all? Why not? Alright, we'll do one more. Fuck it.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
New content. Sure, why not?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Say what? Stanley Parable 2?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Really? Chat.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Or, I guess in this case, the Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
So many choices. Good God. Here, name in the game. A button that says your name of the player that's playing the game. What?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That's Cat. That has to be Cat. That has to be Cat. There's no way.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
Jim?
Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Man!
Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full
Get
experience.
this bullshit out of
Just
here.
play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
No.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble
Jim
into
Crow?
dust.
Guys?
Do you feel it deeply?
Jim Crow?
Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Do I have another choice? Can I like dip? Man.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually... An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Free new plus easy achievement. Actually, let me go back. I don't know about that yet. Pull the lever, see your new achievement, no more stats. It will just work. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It's bullshit.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collect them all. Can you find them? Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What the fuck? Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
But why though?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Wait a
It's
minute.
a very, very deep hole. To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
Bruh.
You found me out, Stanley.
You're
I'm
a
iron
fraud.
cheat and you're
You're
so
a fraud.
clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Good God.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things
You're
got
a
a little
fraud.
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Mostly infinite hole. Well, obviously you fall back here again.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
Yeah.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Bruh.
Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yo,
I couldn't help
pause.
but feel like you spent a little less time
Holes,
in there
not
than you did
hose.
before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Oh, really?
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Yo!
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole.
Dickhead.
Now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
You're an
I
asshole.
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Wow. Wait, huh? Wait, huh? What the f? I'm so confused. What the f? What is going on? It's changed the reality. What is? What the?
My head's stronger.
What?
Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Just change yourself. What the f? Nigga, am I a robot? Yo! Yo! What is going on? No, this is weird. This is weird.
Stanley! Stanley!
Yo!
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
What?
But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
You dickhead.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years
Bro,
here in this
get me out of this hole.
And I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Bro. Niggas got me an infinite Tsukiyomi, bro.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, Stepney's. This one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Bro.
Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
Oh, you got it.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then. All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
No.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What the f... Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
This game is so weird.
Employee number 427's job was
This game is so weird.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bruh.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Bro. What the fuck?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Yes. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Yeah, we're leaving.
All right, I've got... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh my god, a collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Shit is so stupid.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Don't cry, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Wait, what?
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What the fuck?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
What
and
the
then
f is going on?
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Alright, everybody. This game is pretty interesting. I do enjoy it. Who made this game? I don't know the developers. I actually figured that out. I should definitely figure that out. That is pretty funny. Definitely entertaining. Gotta play more of that when I get on stream next time.